My name is Wartils. I am the head of AI-driven client experiences at BNP Paribas Fortis and a member of the management team of the tribe AI. And so I came today to explain a little bit how the bank is evolving around the topic of AI. And of course, I think I don't need to explain the bank, but we are here because we are the house bank of Odoo since years. Partner with them, and I think in the overall scheme of the history of the bank and the situation of the bank, we are of course the first bank in Belgium, but most importantly we are part of the BNP Paribas group, and that is also very useful with regard to AI because we can do a lot of things with other countries and with the group entities. So I think it's an important element also in the drive of our innovation. So innovation is in our DNA. We've been working on digitization since a long time, and so AI is also not new, but it came into an acceleration with generative AI a couple of years back. So we've been working on chatbots internally first and then externally. I'll explain more about that. So the landscape of AI, the evolution is moving from the traditional machine learning over deep learning, which we already use for fraud detection, anti-money laundering traditionally since a long time. Also pricing models, pricing optimization models we have been using quite extensively. But since a couple of years, generative AI came to the forefront, and that's really boosting not only in the public space, but also at the bank, the way we apply AI to accelerate innovation and to accelerate growth and to enhance our employees. And then we'll talk a little bit about agentic, which is the next step of evolutions, with again a lot of potential, which we also work on. So the advantages of the generative AI wave, let's say, which started 2 years ago, is mostly on the operational efficiency, where we really have up to 20-25% of efficiency gains, but also in customer experience we're advancing, which is via hyper-personalization, which allows us to do better cross and upsell. And then, of course, we also apply Gen AI to accelerate, improve our fraud detection systems beyond the traditional models which we have already in place. And so you might already have read that the growth potential or the revenue potential, the value potential of AI is highest in the banking sector next to high tech. And we as a bank, as a banking group, already generate $500 million of value through AI models and AI applications. We have group-wide more or less 750 UI use cases in production. The proportion for Belgium is more or less 10% in value generation and number of use cases. So it's already starting to be a significant part of the evolutions that we're evolving at the bank. How are we organized at BNP Paribas Fortis specifically? So we have a dedicated tribe. A tribe is a department for transformation around AI. 85 people reporting to the AI board, which is comprised out of a number of ExCo members, and with the responsibility to drive the AI roadmap within the bank, and also to make sure that the business cases that are linked to the use cases that we're going to roll out are realized together with our partners from product tribes, channel tribes, and with the business, of course. We're focusing on the 3 pillars which I already more or less mentioned. So everything which is client-facing, so the client experiences, that's what I'm responsible for. Then we have the classical process automation, which we will accelerate with agentic in the years to come. And then augmented employees, where we really put AI in the hands of our employees, in the hands of our collaborators, for them also to optimize their work, to learn to work with AI, but also to enhance themselves and to accelerate certain parts of their workload. And we are responsible for the architecture evolutions and for, let's say, the enabler roadmap, and that we do a lot together with the group because these investments are quite important. So everything we can mutualize across countries, across geographies is always a bonus. So the group there also helps us to accelerate. Each of those pillars has flagships. So in client experiences, we're talking about virtual assistants, chatbots, voice bots. We're talking about the hyper-personalized communication in the channels, but also through human channels. In the automation and optimization, we work a lot on the credit processes, but also KYC, onboarding, and we optimize also the capture of the client data through the interactions in the call center, for instance, and injecting automatically client data into the CRM, the customer relationship management system, in order for it to become available for marketing purposes and for process optimization purposes. And then the in-house LLMs, the large language models, which at BNP Paribas Fortis is called Yara. Yara is a tool that everybody can use. All the 12,000 collaborators of BNP Paribas Fortis can use it on a daily basis, and almost 90% also do. And then we also have a version for coders to accelerate the optimization of code, the annotation of code, the refactoring of code that was written in the past. So these are really initiatives that help us really generate a lot of benefit within the bank already. And we make the AI platform also modular in a way that these building blocks can easily be used by other tribes to accelerate also the infusion of AI into their processes, into their product domains. And in that way, we want to create a kind of modular platform that we don't need to be the bottleneck for all implementations, but that we have APIs and off-the-shelf components that can be reorganized through other tribes in ways that can also accelerate the AI implementation in their product lines. Very importantly, also the talent. There is a war on talent ongoing, obviously, but there is also an advantage of being part of a big group. Since we're touching so many topics of AI, and since we're working on so many platforms and with so many different technologies, and we're following the market trends, we are really considered as one of the most attractive AI employers for AI experts in the European market. We organize ourselves around also, we have communities of data scientists and ML ops engineers, product owners who specialize in AI topics, who gather twice a year in Paris or in another country. We just had such an AI summer school, as we call it, in August. And so that's really 2 days of very intensive exchanges of best practices, where new projects are being showcased and where people network and where knowledge is exchanged within the group, and where also the big suppliers of AI, like Mistral, with which the group has a partnership, are present, and where we can really interact with their specialists. And then also interesting to mention is, we have of course many people with banking knowledge, with experience, long experience in the bank. Some of them have technical backgrounds, have made technical studies. They have the opportunity also to retrain, and so we have a digital data and AI academy where you can retrain to become a data analyst or a product owner or any other topic that is in line with the transformation requirements, staffing requirements in the bank. So that gives a nice win-win, because people can reorient their career, but at the same time the knowledge of the bank, of the products, of the clients remains within the organization. So I'm going to glance over a couple of our examples a bit more in detail. So with regard to the virtual assistants, of course, it's all about being a trusted financial companion of the customer in the pocket, because it's via the mobile device for the individual segment, 24/7, as much as possible contextual, instantaneous. It talks, of course, the language of the customer. And we do it in a safe and responsible way. That is very important. So we make sure that there are sufficient guardrails and let's say safeguards around the AI to make it operating correctly. Adapting to the specific needs of the customers as we go, very flexible, and also as we go forward towards the future, we will expect that chatbots, voice bots, will more and more evolve towards real agents that accompany the clients in their day-to-day, and that will follow them across channels, but also embedded in their customer journeys. So, still a lot of work to do to reach that vision, but that's where we are working towards. While at the same time, in optimization and automation, well, most of the process of the bank nowadays already have some kind of AI implementations. Frauds, we already mentioned, is a classical one. There we already have fraud detection models since years. In customer support, there is a lot of workload to be automated via the agents, but also the end of session transcripts, for instance, which are injected into the CRM. In risk assessment and loan processes, we are building in AI to optimize and accelerate. And so we have already 200 robots, the classical robots running in the bank. These are really like macros that work on the existing systems. But now more and more we enhance those with AI and with intelligent, let's say, models and with agents, keeping of course always humans in the loop. But so it's a complete refactoring of our process chains that we are working on, and of course focusing first and foremost on the biggest families of process cycles, so credits, payments, investments, insurance. So one of the topics we are busy finalizing for a go live end of this year, beginning of next year, is this automated transcription of the end of sessions. Which will help the contact center agents to be more complete and more correct in their CRM inputs, but also allow marketing and coaching of those teams and to have better information in near real time available to exploit via Gen AI, so that basically we can know on a daily basis what was the trend of the interactions with our customers, and what are the suggestions, the knowledge suggestions to create for our agents, for them to be better equipped for the next days. A topic where we are very proud of is this internal LLM. So everybody plays with LLMs in their free time, but of course when you are at the bank, you cannot use these tools because we do not want the bank's data and the data of our customers to go into these foreign tools. So we created a domestic internal version, which we call Yara, which can be used by our collaborators to make translations, summarizations, transcriptions, but also to ideate. I have product owners who are really using it to create user stories, to prepare workshops, to ideate on new topics, to aggregate information which they have in different documents. So it's really also a bit up to the creativity of the collaborator to see how these tools can enhance them and accelerate their work. Very important also that those who are a bit more advanced in prompting, we can make those prompts available for other colleagues to reuse. We also have a team dedicated for giving training, so the departments, one after one, they receive trainings, they receive briefings. We work with the specialists to make sure that when there are good prompts that are developed for making specific automations that can help in a specific role or a specific department, we can make those available to other colleagues via the prompt gallery, where these can be stored and reused. And then we have dedicated versions of Yara, which is a bespoke, let's say, configured version, specifically, for instance, for screening communication material for compliance with the guidelines of the regulator, but also with the guidelines of the branding and the bank. We have the Yara code, which already mentioned. We have Yara Invest for investment advice. So we are busy working more and more on these kind of dedicated agents that can enhance a specific role, specific department within the bank. And so this community of people who exchange around the usage also reinforce each other. And so all in all, we have calculated that at bank-wide level, almost everybody gains sufficient time through these tools that we can amount it as 3%, which doesn't seem a lot, but is going to increase as we progress and as we as more and more people will become more fluid with these kind of tools. So currently we know that in banking and in many other industries, the administrative workload is still accounting for 75–80% of the time of our collaborators in the front. A lot of work on onboarding, a lot of work on recertification, on the administration around the delivery of new credits. So we want to help our collaborators and our relationship managers to gradually use these tools for automating the preparation of their meetings, the summarization of their contacts, preparation of their administrative files. Later also they will each have their own assistant to do a lot of that workload for them. So we really want to flip that proportion from 20% administrative work towards 80% really time that can be attributed to strategic discussion with the customer, interaction with the customer, and good reflection around moving the business forward. And so we see that in each of those domains, expertise, relational and administrative, AI will play a role to gradually automate and to enhance the human, which in the end is a driver for abundance. So we will be able to do more workloads with higher quality by the same amount of people. And so the people will be better equipped in their jobs and better informed. And that of course is beneficial also for the way that people feel good in their jobs. Looking a bit forward now, agentic AI is beyond generative, so we don't only generate text, we don't only summarize text or work with text, but we really create agents that can plan, that can autonomously achieve goals, that can autonomously work on workflows, and that we can aggregate around tasks, and that we can create virtual workforces with. So we're building the platforms together with the group to make this happen. Because we read and we are seeing also that this landscape is evolving very quickly. Remember ChatGPT, when it was launched to the public in November 22, after 2 months there were already 100 million users. And now they are 700, 800 million. So we see that the acceleration of implementation of generative AI follows the same trend as agentic. Agentic is in parallel, so there is a huge acceleration ongoing over the course of the last year. I'm in touch with people, for instance, at Salesforce in the United States, who are already much more advanced. We know that the American banks are also already much more advanced in implementing agentic on their in their value chains. So it's really something we need to work on, and it's something that will also affect the way our customers will do business, the way we will interact with our customers, but also the way our customers will interact with their clients. So a recent study of McKinsey explained a little bit, so with classical generative AI, you can create optimizations up to 20%. I spoke of the 3% we already calculated internally. But so you enhance collaborators and they can have 20% increased efficiency. If you create agents that focus on simple tasks to enhance employees, you can basically double their capacity. But the idea would be that gradually we move towards a situation where many people will have a small department of agents, a digital factory of agents at their disposal, and you will basically manage them like now you manage a team, like you manage collaborators, and then you can really talk of enhancements times 20, of course, which is also something we see in the States. Small startups, which very few people, with the help of agents, can already start businesses with lots of efficiency. We're also preparing for the agentic world in e-commerce. A couple of months ago, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal announced that they're preparing their platforms for agentic payments. I think it's already well known that many of the searches online do not happen via Google anymore, and they happen now via an LLM, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and others. So the idea would be that you don't only screen the market for your ideal holiday destination or for the next television that you want to buy, but that you can also, from the selected list that you get from the LLM, can proceed to a purchase, and that can happen in a secure and safe way. And only just this week, Google announced the implementation of a dedicated protocol also to facilitate these agentic payments, the agentic payment protocol, which they are preparing to use together with a lot of partners in the space. So we really see an acceleration, and we as a bank, we need to prepare also for accepting and processing these kind of payments. Looking a bit further, what we also expect, and Gartner is teaching us, that there will be a new type of customer, the machine customer, not necessarily an agent that will represent a human or that will represent a company, but an autonomous vehicle or a machine in a factory that will autonomously look for maintenance or for an insurance renewal or for financing, for additional resources, for instance, which would also be necessary to communicate with, to be reachable with, to give the right information in real time. Can happen a negotiation, complaints handling, how do we do that? So it's a whole new world that we need to prepare at that level as well. And so like I already said, the platforms which you are using in your companies, the platforms that our clients are using, are starting to become agentic. One of the most known examples is Agentforce, and the CEO of Salesforce announced earlier this year at the AI Summit in Geneva that he is no longer hiring engineers this year, or he will hire much less, because they are accelerating the internal workload with agents. So they're focusing on salespeople now. So it's very remarkable. We see banks starting to become reachable, and we have Griffin Bank in the UK who already announced that they have an MCP server in place for simple daily banking transactions. And so banks like BNP Paribas Fortis and BNP Paribas Group are now seeing how they need to organize to follow suit, to follow the changing behaviors of our clients, and to make sure that we also prepare for new business models, and that we do that in a safe way, making sure that we can follow with regard to fraud monitoring, cybersecurity, and because the space of risk will become much more intense. And how do we do this with our operations? So we tread cautiously, but with a lot of enthusiasm, because we think this will bring a lot of benefit for our the way we function internally, but also for the way we can interact with our customers, be it companies or individuals. So that was my talk for today. I think we have 1 minute and a half left for questions, if there are any. So happy to take your questions, and otherwise you can we can continue the conversation on LinkedIn. You can connect on LinkedIn. You can reach out there if you want to discuss one of these topics. And should someone be interested to learn more about the roles which we have, because we will upstaff next year in the Tribe AI, so there will be opportunities to join us and to work on this AI-driven bank that I explained to you today. Are there any questions? J'entends pas. No?
Right now, you hear?
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I will repeat right now.
Thank you.
Just 1 second. Yeah, better. Okay, so first question. How do you ensure compliance with the AI Act while implementing AI tools/process in your organization?
Yeah. So we have a dedicated team in the Tribe AI who are responsible for putting in place the policy and for making sure that all the process and governance requirements are met. So we have categorized all our models and we are now preparing for the high risk deadline of August 26. So it's through governance, through processes, through policies, and through very rigorous screening, monitoring, reporting on the models that we are putting in place.
Okay, thank you guys. I think we are running out of time right now. So thank you for being here. I will let you finish.
Thanks everybody for being here, and have a nice day.